to gravity high. Talking tech as the planets fly. The upgrade zone, the show begins. Sit right back and let the future speak.
Pablo,
Daniel?
hello. It's very good to have you on the show. Thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for having me.
For anybody who doesn't know you, obviously I know your story. I know the things that you're trying to build now,
Yeah.
that you're building. Please explain to everyone listening who you are, where you came from.
Well,
right?
as you can
And-
tell from my accent, I come from Spain and then moved to the UK about 10 years ago now.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yes, too long. I just came I'm a farm vet, that's my profession, and I came for 1 year experience.
Okay.
And now 10 years after, we're still here. So I would think
Wow.
that's good news.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now we're starting a new project. Well, we've been the last 2 years working on this new project about basically about deer and wild boar management.
So if I remember correctly, you started as a vet working for a vet practice which wasn't yours, and now you're building your own business.
Exactly, I still work for that practice. So I work as a farm vet, and that's my main job. But since I was a kid and in Spain, I've always been involved with the countryside activities like shooting, farming, hunting, and we've always been doing it as a sport, hobby, something to enjoy.
Yep.
Then I moved to the UK and I discovered a new way of doing things, a new approach. So together with my brothers, we are 4 brothers, we thought we could do the same we've been doing for as a sport and as joy. We could do it with a more professional approach, and that's when we started this project.
Okay, sounds interesting. But can you share a bit more about the project? I'm assuming it's already live. You're already providing.
It's
the
already live,
services.
yes, Daniel.
Very good.
It's already live. Of course, we're improving and we're trying to develop different
course.
areas of this business as we go on. And as you know, you start with an idea, and then as the time comes and the time goes, then
It always changes.
it changes, and then you keep adding things or deleting things. You find things that don't work and others that do. So it's different. This business is called different areas that can be profitable and can be successful. So we're working on some of them at the same time. The main project is around deer and wild boar management.
Okay.
In the UK, it's more focalized on deer management because there is less wild boar. Some wild boar in the UK, but it's still not enough to be a problem, and not in the area where we're working. So it's some other people in charge. So we try to do a professional approach to deer management, where we can also enjoy and keep doing as a sport, but where we actually get some benefit from doing it properly.
Got it.
So for most of your public or most people listening to this chat, probably they see this as hunting, as traditional hunting, which is for joy or for meat, which, yes, that's part of it, but it's a lot more behind it. It's a lot more.
I'm assuming this is where the data that you collect comes into play, right?
In order to take decisions.
So you've built an app and you're collecting specific data to help understand the population, how it develops, how it changes. So
exactly. So
can you explain?
the process is, at the moment, and I'm going to be talking about the UK, that's where we are now. The moment in the UK, the deer population has overgrown a lot. The population in the last 10 years has grown more than any time before.
Okay.
And I think there is an estimation of 2 million deer, but that's just an estimation because as the wild population, they cannot really be counted.
And that's a lot, or that's not much, 2 million? Because relatively speaking...
It's more important the concentration in some areas, the density of population. So where in the UK there's 6 deer species. We're talking about muntjac, Chinese water deer, and roe deer, which are the smaller species, and then the bigger ones, which are sika deer, fallow deer, and red deer.
Okay.
Muntjac
is the one with the weird thing on the nose,
yes,
right?
with the glands in the nose.
It looks so
they've got antlers and they've got tusks, which is not normal. It's an Asian deer that they were brought like over 100 years ago,
Because they weren't natural to.
No,
to
they are
UK.
invasive species in the UK, together with the Chinese water deer and Sylva deer.
Okay.
So they were brought just to have as a park deer. I think some lords or someone with a big garden wanted to have them.
I want to have a
And-
strange animal.
yeah, and they escaped.
Ah,
And they,
of course.
especially the moonjack and Chinese water deer, they breed very fast. You
Yeah.
know, in case of
That's
the
why
moonjack,
Jurassic Park is never gonna work.
it's not gonna work. For a moonjack, every 7 months they have a new one. They give birth to another fawn. So the reproduction rate is very high.
Okay.
So it's more deer. So they need the control, especially because they are not a species native to the UK. So when you break the balance, then the trophic cascade breaks, and then is when you cause problems in different areas. So
they can be classed as vermin at some point.
they actually, they class as vermin. They can be classed as vermin. Then we've got the native species as well, the roe deer. The fallow deer were introduced by the Romans, and then the red deer, especially in Scotland and some areas of England as well. So what we need to quantify how much overpopulated are these species in the different areas, and what impact they've got on the land or on the farms, on the other animals, wildlife, roads, villages.
Yep.
Okay. And many people will be asking themselves, okay, and what's the problem? If the deer are there, that's the nature.
And that was my next question as well.
The nature should regulate itself. Well, not because we're here, and probably we are the cause of the problem.
Okay.
And I don't think we're gonna go away. So then we need to find that balance between human population, our way of life, and wildlife as well. And that's our main target. That we
Sounds
need to
ambitious and not easy.
It's not easy. In case of the UK, deer have no predators. It's no wolves, nothing that hunts them to it. So they have no predators. The only predators are we, the humans.
Yeah.
Plus, the UK, because the weather, the rainfall a year, and the growth of the cereals.
You said that it's not easy to achieve that balance between our population and the animal population. So my sort of question here would be, where does the problem really lie? As in, obviously there are no predators.
There's
like
no
you said.
predators.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
So we got then because of the UK weather and nature, the grass grows very well. The arable fields, crops are really good. So those animals, they've got plenty of food to keep growing. So the carrying capacity of the ground is very high compared to some other areas like in Spain, where it's very dry, they haven't got grass, they haven't got water, then the carrying capacity is very low.
So they are not going to overpopulate as quickly as they would here.
As they would here, exactly. So, but what happens once an area is overpopulated? Then is when disease start to happen. So that's the way the nature will then balance that population back, and we don't want to get to that point.
Of course. We've seen many diseases which are spread by animals, which affect other species as well.
Exactly. First of all, because of the deer welfare. Second, because there can be zoonosis, means disease that can go from animals to humans.
Yep.
We need to control.
Yep.
And third, we need to control those diseases that could go from wildlife to livestock, that then will impact the food industry. And that's a very important point, as countries like Spain, for example, with the pork production, Spain exports a lot of pork. If they had an outbreak of any disease that would change the export status, they wouldn't be able to export anything. So the economy will drop.
And
massively.
here, obviously, venison is a big thing. People like it. And it's popular.
Venison, and then other disease that could go into farm animals that then will be causing restrictions on those farms on selling that meat. So there's an economical loss as well as animal welfare concern behind this unbalanced population of wildlife.
So I can see that this is kind of answering to some extent my next question, which would be around the return on investment. So obviously, when clients and explain who those ideal clients are as well. Let's start with that.
Exactly. So obviously, an unbalanced population will affect different people and different government bodies and situations. So when we approach a land or when we get a call to go and see, okay, what's the situation here? Are there a problem on this farm, on this land? First of all, we need to understand what's the target of that land, what's happening, what's the main activity going on that farm.
Got it.
So some farmers, they could just be breeding livestock, a dairy farm, a beef farm with a suckler herd, sheep, livestock. Then, or it could be an arable farm where they're growing crops. It could be just a rewilding farm where they're just trying to bring back biodiversity. So they're trying to encourage or other animals like birds, like insects to go back to their normal
and that goes
population.
to that balance element you mentioned before between our population and the natural animal
regeneration.
population. Yeah.
One important thing in the UK will be the ancient woodland.
Okay.
Those are woods that they've been built up like through years and years and years and years. So the preservation of those woods are very important because they've got a lot of value, natural value. So many insects, so many birds. They can find the food they need. They can find the height they need. They can find the places for the nest. They can find. If suddenly you get an unbalanced population of deer going through or any other animal species, they will eat more. For example, they will start eating more the palatable plants rather than the non-palatables. Then they break the balance in the plants.
Got it.
Then they start to destroy the balance of that woodland.
Okay, so when we speak about the next element of my question, which was the return on investment, well, it's not really the monetary side of it.
It's not only economical.
It's also the whole impact that this activity or the lack of it will have on the land.
Exactly. So we know at the moment in the UK, we know we've got too many deer. There's too many deer for the carrying capacity of the ground. There's too many deer for the economic activity of so many farms.
Okay.
There's too many deer for a sustainable balance of wildlife population, other animals apart from deer and other animals. There's a high number of road traffic accidents caused by deer. So all that is got to be addressed and it's got to be approached.
I see.
So from Sylva, what we try to do is we try to do a professional approach to this problem and try to give good solutions in a way where we are respecting the animal welfare, but every decision we're taking is data-driven. So we know what to expect and we know what our goals and targets are.
Well, to be fair, it sounds like a bit of a unique sort of offering because not only you are the ones who know the nature, know how it all functions, how the population changes are taking place, but also, you are using modern technology to present it to your clients.
Exactly. At this point is the gathering information, gathering data analysis, taking decisions based on those data is basic because then you can really measure what you're doing and then you can really have a clear target. At the moment, what's happening is so many deer management doing it very, very good in the UK, taking data, taking decisions, but it's not an integrated way of doing it. So
I see.
Yeah, with our software, I'll be explaining how the software works in a minute. But what we're trying to do is create a database, which if it's used broadly around the UK, then we can really compare population trends. And that will give us a much bigger picture of what's really happening, because obviously some differences between some areas and others. We could also link it to disease outbreaks in livestock, what relation is got to deer.
I can imagine this becoming really important and valuable to governmental bodies who are tracking the disease spread, etc. So
I think this will be very, very interesting for them because having so much data, they could predict future outbreaks as well.
I see.
And control outbreaks.
And in terms of who might need this type of service, we to some extent covered this already. But not only governmental bodies. I can imagine the army needing this type of service.
Yeah,
already.
the army. They've got their own deer management service at the moment. They've got actually.
So it's the same principle. It's just
the same
their
principle.
own thing.
They do it in all the areas where they
the
train.
bases are,
Where they train with the machinery, and obviously they've got to control the deer because they can cause accidents.
Yep.
So they've got their own group that does it, and I'm aware they record data. But we're they record data in a good way where they get,
Mm-hmm.
but we're trying to bring easier to use
I see.
software
So it can be a bit more popularized.
and more popularized.
yeah,
That
yeah,
could
okay.
also be obviously with the data protection that nobody could see the data of,
Yeah, of course.
others. But our idea in the future is if we can anonymize
Mm-hmm.
the data, then we can work
I
out
see.
British trends on
I see.
wildlife,
Okay.
and it could be extended in the future to other animals, not only
I
deer.
see.
But the biggest problem now
Mm.
are the deer.
I see. And you've mentioned Spain a couple of times. So if I'm not mistaken, you're already providing that service
Yes,
both
we do
in
it in
Spain and here in the UK as well.
Spain and the UK.
That's a great start.
In
yeah.
Spain is the problem is not so much the deer, are
Mhm.
the wild boar.
Okay.
Wild boar are
okay.
in higher densities, higher than they've ever been at the moment. So they really need a control for the
Is
same
it the
reasons.
landscape? Is it what's available in
Landscape,
nature or
Yes, the animals that I think the weather is sort of a bit softer now than
okay.
it used to be.
okay.
They're breeding very well.
Mm.
Actually, they used to breed like once a year. Now they breed twice or even
Wow.
we've been told 3 times.
They
So
are keen.
yeah, they are. So it's a they behave like a plague species.
Ah, okay.
So they can adapt very easily to different environments, dry, wet. They don't mind. They
Mm.
adapt, and they also invade urban areas. So many lately. There's been so many videos in Spain of wild boar in shopping centers.
I've had an accident like well, not an accident luckily, but I was driving through one of the south areas of Italy, right? I think it was Puglia.
Okay.
And literally on the side of the road, middle of the night, there was like 70 easily. It was a massive
Yeah. You see
flock
big
of
groups, and then obviously where there's
easily
food,
70.
they'll go, especially at night.
You only need one in front of your car, and that's it. The car is done.
Yeah.
Because
There's
it's
so
like
many.
one big piece of muscle, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
they're
it's-
very big. They
Yeah.
can weigh a lot. They can weigh over 100 kilos.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's the problem. That's what we need to approach.
Yep.
This has always been taken as a sport, as I said at the beginning, as a joy. But we can still do it, but with a professional approach.
Exactly.
And that's the change we want
Got it.
to do. So what happens when you were asking me before? What happens when then our client, which will be a landowner or a government body
Yes,
or someone that is having a use of a farm or a land
got it.
and is having troubles. So the first thing we need to analyze is what the target of that farm.
Okay.
We said once we know what's the target, arable, livestock, racing cars, airports,
Yep.
whatever, then we need to evaluate the density of deer on that land based on an impact assessment. What's the impact of that deer population on the ground?
Okay.
That's the way we can sort of measure, what's the pressure that that ground is receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Then what impact is going to have that estimated population on that land's activity,
I see.
economical and non-economical,
Yep.
like risk factors and accidents, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we really show the client, show the land, look, this is your estimated deer population, this is how
And-
much it's costing you, this is the risk you're taking.
And when it comes to showing this to the client, do I remember correctly that you mentioned at some point that you give your clients, some sort of a dashboard that they can observe online, and then they can then track their own data as well? Is that part of the app?
Yes, that'll be a way of, they will be tracking, they can see what's happening on their land while we're working. So when we are cooling animals, they could see where we are,
I see. Okay.
the app, they could see what we've done, they could check every time, either the landowner or the person in charge or the deer manager.
I see.
Because how it works is they've got like a land manager or deer manager that then monitors this activity and then
see.
reports to landowner or farmer.
Got it.
So this depends on the structure on every different, land.
Okay.
Then this is how it works. They can monitor what's happened. So then we can provide them with, look, in the case, let's talk about a crop of beans, for example. Now they're growing nicely this time of the year. So this farmer can say, wait, I don't know whether I've got deer or not, but I see some damage. Can you see? Well, can you judge what's happening?
So you assemble the squad.
So
right?
then we
You
come
take
out.
the guns out.
Not yet.
Okay,
We don't
okay.
take the guns yet. The guns are kept at this point. But we go in and we try to see what damage is on those.
I see.
What damage we see on those on those bins.
So you try to recognize what animal caused it in the first place.
Yes, what animal is
Okay.
causing it
Okay.
and what sort of damage is happening.
I see.
Many times we need to go at night and check it with thermal vision, and night vision was there.
I see.
Let's say we find a group of fallow deer are eating that crop. Fallow like beans a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Fallow are big animals. You know, they weight
Hence
over.
the beans.
Yeah.
Protein.
Yeah. When especially in the summer, they can tell you can tell they're in very good
Okay.
shape. They're very round and I might pass you a picture later so you can show people how good they look when they are eating beans. Farmer is not that happy because they're eating their beans.
Yeah.
So yes,
But that touches on that point of economical effect
this
as
will
well.
be an economical. This will be mainly economical.
Because they are literally losing money because they are losing crop.
Yes, and they
So that's a
and-
direct impact on their
exactly on the profit end of
Earnings,
the
yeah,
year. So the
yeah,
farmer had to work that field, had to drill the beans, had to fertilize, use everything, follow all the regulations.
and anybody who's involved in the farming or at least
Yeah,
familiar with
they
the
will understand,
processes,
yeah.
that's all very expensive processes.
Yeah, very expensive for just a very small profit at the end of the whole process, which is only
Absolutely.
once a year.
Yeah.
And then if the deer they've been eating your beans, then there's no profit,
Exactly.
and you've been feeding wild deer.
Yeah.
So this is very important. We don't want to finish them. We want them to be there. It's important that we have deer there, but again, in balance,
the right amount.
in the right amount.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we do with this bean field is then imagine we find fallow deer eating in there.
Yep.
Fallow deer can eat between 2.5 to 7 kilograms, depends on size, dry matter a day. Dry matter. Obviously they don't eat only beans. They eat something else. But as they walk through the beans, they break the plants.
Of course.
So that's another damage they cause. So with all that data, we could estimate how many tons of beans the farmer will be losing at harvesting point, and then just check market price and you can tell how much is losing.
I can see this data being very powerful, to be fair, especially now that you've got all the AI, available, and all this, people can really, benefit from those, data points.
They can actually see what's happening. Then they can decide whether to take action or not, how to do it, but they know something is happening. The first point is to know you've got a problem and what's happening there.
Yeah.
That's the first point. So we can provide that. We can give them we call it like impact assessment.
Yep.
The same, the impact assessment could be done on a crop or could be done on woodland, as I said before.
I see.
We can analyze what sort of plants are there and what height the plants are eaten to then see which deer species are in place.
I see.
See what birds. Butterflies are a good indicator. I mean, we don't do the butterflies ourselves. We will have to be a biologist, but butterflies are a good indicator of natural health of the woodland because then they can breed and you see more types. And so all those things are taken into account to see, because someone else might not have an economical interest. They just want regeneration.
Yep.
Or another example would be edge planting. Now till not long ago, the government was, there was a scheme the farmers could adhere to, in which they got some money to plant some new trees and edges. And so if they plant an edge and they get the money for the edge, and then they've got too many deer, the deer love eating the new edges growing up because they're very nutritive.
Yeah.
So it's no point planting the edges and try to restore woodland
because again it's money wasted and time and effort, because that's hard work
exactly.
as well.
So in order to claim some money for woodland, planting trees and things like that, they might need to provide with a proper deer management plan.
I see. Okay.
And this is the point where we've assessed the problem, we've measured the problem. So we can come out with some figures to the landowner or land agent, whoever is in charge. Then now
Action.
Well, first, not yet. I know you're looking for action. No action. Now we need to do a deer management plan.
Oh, okay.
So we need to find out.
You're very meticulous.
Yes,
in
it's got to be. I told you, it's got to be done right.
Okay.
And if not the data, then we won't make any sense. That's why I said.
Good stuff. So it's not all about shooting.
No, shooting. Actually, I used to go out shooting a lot and hunting because I like as a sport. And since I'm in this business. I'm shooting less. I'm doing more paperwork.
Got it.
I think that's the
That's
natural evolution, isn't
That's
it?
every industry. Yeah, more paperwork than the actual work.
You do it. You start doing it thinking you're gonna be out doing what you love doing all the time, and then you end doing paperwork. But this is very interesting because now I can really understand so many things
I see.
and really analyze what what I'm doing.
Yep. So you
And-
see the bigger picture of
Exactly.
behind what you've been doing all the time. Yeah.
And what the benefits are for the ground, for the other animals, for people. It's good as far as it's done right. It's all benefits.
And to be fair, it sounds to me like there is a very good timing for this type of service, or to be more popular, across the landowners, because you've got that shift. There's many farmers trying to go into that regenerative farming and
Yeah.
all this. So obviously, this, like the plague of deer, could affect it quite heavily and prevent it from even happening.
Exactly, and then it's a new way of doing things, respecting wildlife, respecting the countryside, but we can still grow our crops, have our livestock, grow our animals for meat, and then we can still use it, but with respect, and that's what we're trying.
I see.
That's what we're trying to achieve all together. Farmers are interested in this because
Of
farmers
course.
they want the best for the ground, so they're the first ones doing this.
Absolutely.
So, and then vets, government bodies, biologists, ecologists. So we are working all together, really.
You don't have to specify who, but if I remember correctly, at some point you mentioned to me that you're already, involved in those governmental bodies. Meetings and showing yourself
some
there.
cooperation. Yes, nothing official.
Okay.
Yes, but we also involved with other vets doing same jobs
I
with
see.
other deer managers as well, with other hunters, stalkers, with people in the industry
I see.
and around it.
Well, every farm I go to buy meat, there's like, oh, Pablo, do you know Pablo? So
Well, I've been the
you're a
farm
popular
vet.
man.
I've been the farm vet around here for the last 10 years, so they better know me now.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So yeah, and then so what we do once we've got the deer management plan is where we decide what animals, if they need to be culled, which animals need to be culled in order to keep the deer population balance.
Okay.
We need a proper ratio of male females of each species in the right proportions. So we want to keep animals that are good genetically. They've got good genetics in it, and then we cull the ones that they don't have it. So we with good genetics, you keep the breeds, the species going forward.
And if I remember some biology lessons correctly, you have to have some level of scarcity to allow that clean, good genetics to come up.
Exactly. And because you want for example, in the case, you want the good males to reproduce with the good females. So when we see malformed animals or any animal with any problem, it's better to call it, take it away, and then leave the good ones, to keep breeding.
Yeah.
So that's how we work the deer management plan.
Okay.
Also, every deer management plan is different depending on the situations,
course.
ground.
Every farm is different,
Exactly.
different land, different location, different mixture of plants, I can assume.
Exactly. Every place is different, and you have to do a different approach. You have to do a risk assessment. It's not the same shooting close to an airport that is shooting on a
course.
farm in the middle of nowhere.
Of course.
You have to take into account.
You don't want to fall another Boeing.
No. You have to be careful. You have to be away from them. But sometimes we have to shoot close to train stations or airports because we need to keep the deer away.
Yeah.
So they don't cause any accidents in those areas.
I see.
So that's what the deer management plan will be about. What to do, how to do it, what resources we've got, and who's gonna do it.
Okay. Got it.
At this point, we could do it ourselves, or maybe the farm or the landowners, they've got someone that they could do it for them,
So
and that's fine.
action.
That's the action. Now it's action
Now
time.
it's action.
Now it's action
Okay.
time. So we could take the action,
Okay.
or someone else could do it if they've got someone else. But that depends on the agreement we've got. Then sometimes we can help the landowners to have an income from this activity
Okay.
by bringing people from overseas to hunt and have a hunting experience in the UK.
I see.
At the
Okay.
same time, we're following is what I said before. We are doing a professional approach because we're following a deer management plan that is being done carefully and with the purposes and clear targets.
Yep.
But instead of doing the shooting ourselves, is someone else doing it that is happy to pay some money in to have the experience.
I
So
see.
we've got an income for the farmer or the landowner. We've got someone enjoying it,
Yep.
and then we've got a plan that is being done
So it's
properly.
not just trigger happy people to go and shoot because they like it. You can introduce that plan and tell them, oh, you can only shoot, let's say, 5 a week. And
No,
that's
or
gonna
this usually
be-
works. We can do either do that, or someone comes for a weekend,
Yes.
and then you say in the deer management plan we say we could shoot 2 females, 1 male.
Mm-hmm.
So we come to shoot 2 females, 1 male. One that's done,
Yeah.
that's done, finished,
Okay,
because we adhere to the deer management plan. So that's the main target, is that once the deer management plan, we have to follow it. Obviously, sometimes through the year, because this is our wild population, the circumstances may change, and then you may adapt it. But you need to follow the main structure of that.
I can
plan.
imagine you could potentially notice that there's more than you originally anticipated, or there's less, and that changes as well.
Yeah, it can change. The wild population, or 1 month you've got them there, the next month they're not there anymore. They can move.
Do they move a lot?
They move a lot. For example, fallow deer can move 10, 15, 20 miles in one day.
Okay.
So one day they're in one farm, the following day another. So you have to be there when they are there, and so sometimes it's not.
So
it's
that's
not that
where
easy.
the data is going to become critical to see where they
Where they
move,
are.
they are spotted, and
Exactly. While other deer like roe deer are more territorial, you tend to find them more in the same area. Fallow, they move more. So if people in the same area are using the same software, that's what we would like. That's why we're doing this.
of course.
Then we can put all data together, and
I
then
see.
we could sort of predict why something is happening, how it's happening,
I can see how can be
which
how
factors
this
are
can be
affecting
really-
which factors are affecting it.
Yep.
Sometimes depends if the neighbor is got better crops or more palatable crops than where you've got on your land, they move there. If
you
not,
can
they come
expect
back
them
here.
to.
If there's more activity in some area because, I don't know, they're having a party, then they move to another
Mm.
farm.
Yep.
And so those are things to analyze and see how the population dynamics, how they
Mm.
work. And this is the point where we introduce our app, our software.
Okay. This is where the magic happens. So
Magic, yeah.
that's after the action. Now
Yes,
that's
yeah, yeah.
analysis, right?
That'll be this is the proper magic, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
This software is our own tool.
okay. You've developed it.
We're
you own
developing it.
Yep.
We're developing it right now. We've got
Yep.
everything ready. We've decided how every screen, every different area
Yep.
of the app is got to work. All the menus, everything.
Mhm.
What information we want to collect, because we want to make it. The app collects information.
Yes.
That's the main thing.
Got
It's
it.
a way of collecting accurate information and data.
Yep.
Then the software will help to process the data,
Okay.
and then
I
we can
see.
take decisions based on that.
Got it.
So the app will have it's an app for the phone, and then we'll have website access. I mean, I'm not very technical, but I know I've got people. My brothers are working on this bit. I say I help to decide which information I want to collect, and their job is to design the app and
But
develop it.
To be fair, that's the magical mixture, to be fair. And that's the recipe for success, because you know the practical side of it.
Yeah,
You are on the ground, you see what
Right.
needs to be recorded, and then they can just, implement it because they are good with that technical side.
yeah.
So
We've been
you've
very
got
lucky because
both
we are 4
sides.
brothers.
Yeah.
We like what we're doing, and
Yeah.
we've got different skills. And
Amazing.
I think that's working well, because
Yeah.
I couldn't be doing what they're doing with the app, with talking with the developers and designing everything, but they wouldn't have the time to go out at 3 a.m. to a beans field to see
That's it,
what's
that's
in
it.
there. So it's different skills that helps a
To
lot.
some extent, if I'm not mistaken, you are also the face of the company here in the UK, because you are here, you are...
Yes, and another brother, Daniel, lives
Okay.
in the UK as well.
Okay.
So we both try to be the face
I
of
see.
the company. We
Mhm.
meet the landowners. We tend to go to the meetings
I see.
here, and Jaime and Alberto, they do a lot of this, working with this app, processing all the information, making up the reports. They also visit the UK
Okay.
several times a year,
Mhm.
but that's the main role,
I see.
and
I see.
that's good because we can still do our own lives, and these different jobs we can do it at the same time. We've got our own life, so that's working well at the moment.
Very good. Very good.
So this app is now being developed, and we've got like a basic product that works. It'll be out,
Fantastic.
because obviously we've got ideas to improve it, to make it better. But I think we're gonna start with a more basic
Oh, absolutely.
product, and then
From my side, being involved in how the software just being able to see how the software is being developed and grows with the clients.
Yeah.
There's never a perfect product at the start. You just start with something and improve it over time. You can't do everything at the same time.
And then we're
It's
waiting
impossible.
for customer feedback as well. I think that's very
Oh, that's-
important for
that's
us. We
perfect.
want to see what they're missing, what they like
Amazing.
of it.
Amazing.
So the thing is, at the moment, how we've seen is working in many places.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of the app, right?
Yeah.
The what it's collecting, the data that you're collecting. But then, maybe let's talk a bit more about, how you are different from everybody else who's already on the market, because I noticed some big differences in how you operate and will be performing all these services. So
Yeah,
if you
well,
can
at the
explain.
moment, so many other deer management companies are collecting data. The problem is, it's a difficult world to collect data because you've
Yeah.
got stalkers, hunters that they're going out in a field,
Mhm.
different weather conditions. You cannot be really taking your phone out all the time,
Yep.
writing all the time, especially in the UK. Usually raining when we're
Yeah,
doing this.
absolutely.
So you're getting wet. You've got your gear on top. So it's got to be something easy. It's got to be
Mm.
something that everybody, because if it's not easy, they're not gonna be doing it properly.
Yep.
So that's the first problem we found, and the first thing we wanted to sort it out. So the way of finding out how to collect the data in an accurate way, but it's got to be easy,
Yep.
and it's got to be in a way that people wants to do it. So we thought about having this app in the phone where you turn it on when you're starting your cooling activity, your stocking activity, and this app will be tracking you allow the app to track where you're walking and where you
I
are.
see. Okay, so you're live.
It's like a
tracking the
running app,
location.
similar to the running
Yep,
apps
yep,
that
yep.
they use, but this one will know what you're doing. So
Mhm.
the moment you see something, you shoot something, you can record,
Mhm.
you can tick where you are when you take the shot, then you can go to the animal you've just called,
I see.
and then you can take a picture and record when it's dropped.
So you're basically making it as physically easy as possible.
And if it's not possible to take your phone out and record, it's an option to do it afterwards. Ideally,
Okay.
you do it when it happens.
Yes.
That's
yep.
when
For accuracy.
more accuracy.
Yep.
If it's not possible, you've got an option to do it before you close your visit.
Got it. Got it.
Then you record any findings. That's very important for the post-mortem inspection of the animal. If it's anything you find in there, you can record it in the app, which will be very important
Yeah.
for the future. Then another important thing is other hunters, other stalkers within your group can see where you are.
Okay.
So within a deer management group with 2 or 3 people at the same time, they decide to go out to the same piece of land, and that happens. That's
Mhm.
a normal activity.
Yes.
That you go with some friends or with someone else, and then you're all doing a cooling activity. You know where the others are. You could check,
Okay.
which
So
it
for
should be
safety.
planned. For safety is very important. I mean, this
Yes.
always should be planned ahead. Everybody needs to know where they're going and the limits. They need to be very clear. But on top of that, you can see in the app where the others are. So that's
Perfect.
very important for safety,
Mm.
and we'll have the option to call for help as well. So because it's tracking, it's telling you where you are.
Yep.
So this is a solo walking where many times you go on your own out in the field. Your friends or some other people may know more or less where you are, but if you break a leg or if you've got an accident,
Yep.
the app is tracking you.
Or you end
so-
up with a bullet in your ankle.
Well, no, that's that. With this app will never happen because you know where
I know.
everybody is. But
Yep.
if you've got an accident, any accident, and you need help, or maybe you cannot make a call, or they don't know where you are, just logging into the app, they know where you are. They know
Yeah.
where you've been, so then
Perfect.
they can go and help.
That's
So
amazing.
so we're collecting the data, and then we are, it's a way of safety and
That's an amazing bridge, between, monitoring the nature, right? And just looking at the nature around us and using that modern technology to actually explain it to everybody else.
And-
Because like, for example, I'm involved in tech and, I don't understand much about the process behind what you are doing.
yeah.
But, when you're explaining the app to me, I can understand the data points, the importance of them.
And
so
what we
it's
want to do
really
and how we
important.
want to do. Then once, if the app is being used by many people, our database are growing,
Yep.
then we'll be able to explain everything with real figures and
Yeah.
a bigger scale.
And that prediction is going to be more accurate as well.
More
so,
accurate,
yeah.
and then we can see where people are taking actions, in which areas are no, which we can suggest where something needs doing.
And how it changes in specific seasons as well, because there's
Exactly.
going to be a big shift as well. How the winter looks
And-
like summer, etc.
And another important thing would be the traceability of the venison of those animals we're calling. So
Okay.
with the app, we're getting all this accurate information. We will know where this venison is coming from
I see.
and what the whole traceability from field to fork, as
So
they say.
yeah. So you basically go the full circle from the plan, from the assessment,
Yeah,
all the way to somebody's plate, basically.
exactly.
And you're respecting the balance in nature. You're not over killing the animals. You're not overpopulating the land.
Exactly.
It's all kept
So
at
the
right.
people eating our venison, they will know that those animals they've been harvested with respect,
Yeah.
and they were wild animals, and they can see all the process,
I
and
see,
we can
I
show
see.
them all the process, how everything is being done. So I don't know, something extra.
Absolutely. Do I remember that you mentioned some sort of a sort of shipping element of this business, that you're going to be delivering the meat and
Well,
stuff like that?
we're in one part of the business, and one project we're developing at the moment is the making it possible for people to order
I
venison
see.
boxes online. So
it's not just for the people who already know you.
no,
you
or
can-
for my friends and
Yeah.
people around me, but we're thinking and we are trying to find a way to make those venison boxes to
I see.
we can everybody could eat this meat, which is really good
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
low in fat,
absolutely.
high protein, and
Absolutely.
wild animals. I mean, it's ideal.
I can speak to that.
I think
I love a good
I eat
quality
every day,
meat.
and you've tried tried
Absolutely.
before.
I've tried it.
So yeah, and hopefully these more and more people will be using this software, so we can improve our knowledge about the
Perfect.
wild populations, the
Perfect.
wild deer populations.
Okay, and now I would potentially call it the tricky part, because obviously building a business is not an easy thing.
No,
So a lot of work, a lot of time spent. Can you
it's a long
share a bit
journey.
of
As I
your-
said at the beginning of this conversation, you start with some ideas and then you keep developing them.
Yep.
And then it's how to do it at the same time. You keep your lifestyle, and then it's difficult, but it's very rewarding as well, as you are completing stages and you can see how some things are
absolutely.
working.
Yeah.
So the
Tick,
satisfaction,
tick,
you
tick,
go ticket, and the satisfaction is big, and working on what you really like, I think is a privilege.
Yep.
So we are very happy with it at the moment, and and you discover new ways of working to where delegate tasks. So at the beginning, trying to be everywhere is impossible, and
Oh yeah.
so
You're
delegate.
gonna run out of the day time.
It's not
hours.
enough time, not enough time. So delegate, that delegation is a very important, as you probably agree. And
Absolutely. 100%.
and so far that's the point we're in.
In terms of the things that made the biggest difference for you, delegation obviously would be one thing. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you noticed that was really critical for you to be able to cope with this workload?
So, like with delegation, sometimes I mean about full task to delegate. Like in case of software development, obviously, my brother will do it better than me. So it's not only based on time; it's also based on skills. We said before,
of
it's
course.
gonna be a better job
Yep.
than me. Then it's some others is just time and having some cooperation
I see.
within some task, and having someone else view on something you're doing, so they can give you new ideas or new approach to the same idea. Sometimes I find that you're working on something very specific for a long time, and then you don't see other options. You need someone else.
In your head, it makes sense, but
Yeah.
when you say it out loud to
It
somebody
doesn't-
else,
exactly.
it doesn't quite.
So you need someone else that knows about this, that can tell you, look, why not try this, try that, and then you start thinking, and that's how you come out with
you get unstuck
the last idea, and then the client feedback, and then you get the client feedback, which
But
from-
it's amazing that you do it from the start, because
Yeah,
that's going to help to shape a really good product over time.
That's-
However good or however bad it will be at the very start, and it's already there, right? But as it grows, it's going to become a very robust
the
and
idea
reliable
is
product.
to be flexible, because for us, our main target is the people are happy using the data recording system.
Yeah.
If they're not happy using it, it's gonna be, the outcome is gonna be not accurate data,
Yeah.
missing data. Probably they will be making up.
Yeah. And obviously
to
less
close it.
data in general.
So they need to be happy using it, and they need to use it because
Got
they
it.
really think it's worth using it.
Yeah.
So that data, that app will give the individual hunter stalker their own statistics as well, which I think is very interesting to know. I don't know how much have I walked in order this year with my stalking, or how many animals.
Did you do your 10,000 steps a day?
Yes, it was your shooting accuracy
Okay.
rate.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have
Yeah,
to
a
put
bit
you
of a
have, you have to put
competition.
the real data. Otherwise that'll be fake. But that can give you could probably put in your equipment what you're using.
Yep.
Different bullets. They've got different behaviors, different weights, different rifles, different grounds, north, south. So all that data could be put in. So end of the
That's
year.
the
you have
dangerous
a
part of you
summary.
saying all this.
But I remember as a kid, I remember as a kid, one guy we a friend of the family we used to go out shooting with. He used to write in a diary every time in his own diary. Every time he was going out shooting, where, what he shot, what he did with everything. But just by hand, like very rough, and it was just for his own, for himself.
Yep.
End of the year, he will know exactly how many partridges, how many rabbits, how many pigeons, how many he had given away and to who, how many had eaten, and how many times he had gone to this area, to this other area.
It's a database.
And I found is I think that's the first time I saw this, and then this probably that's the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
But he was recording everything, and that was I found it very interesting. End of the year, what have I done this year? But could be for any activity. But if you can give it a professional use, if you can improve the way you're doing it by doing it, that's the whole point. So it starts from writing the notes
As
in a
simple
diary,
as that,
to where we are now. So
in my family, one of my cousins, the grandfather, in that part of the family, he was writing down everything when it comes to crops. So what did he saw when, and what type, and the exact moment he he collected the crops, the moment he actually put it in the ground and all that. So so I can understand. So it takes a lot of will to just record everything.
So as well as we are doing on the deer management on the farm side now, there's really new softwares that are incredible. Probably worth for you to explore in the future.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have a look.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. But
okay. So the last bit of this would be obviously where people can find you. In terms of Instagram, you've got your profile.
We've got our Instagram, and that you're gonna show somewhere here.
Yeah,
Daniel.
it's gonna be somewhere on the screen. Yeah, absolutely, and in the description as well. If I remember correctly, it's Sylva with a V. _ Deer. So that's the Instagram.
That's
but
the
obviously
Instagram.
there's the website as well.
Yes, and the Instagram is worth following because we show the whole process of where our daily job is, our daily work, how we do things, and we also give some. We try to do it a bit educational as well as. So it's worth having a look to see what we do. And then for anything, they can also send us an email. Where is the email going, Daniel?
Maybe up top.
Somewhere here, and
in the description as well. So
okay, so you can send us an email for anything, and we're happy to help or collaborate with anything.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Thank you,
so
Daniel.
much. Thank you.